Hello Libra, this is your horoscope for December 2023. As we start the month, Sun and Mars are both in Sagittarius, which for you means that there's a lot of activity focused on your friendships, acquaintances, siblings, any kind of casual relationships, casual friendships that you have. You may be more busy in these types of areas, more energetic, maybe just socializing more. You could also be more busy with your short distance travel, so busier in your neighborhood, in your community, etc. There's a lot of energy there for you as we get into the month here. Also, Mercury will be entering Capricorn right off the bat, so that means that you may also be busier at home as well. So busier with family members, family or whoever you live with. There may be more energy of mental energy, so communicating more, maybe just talking a lot more with those people that are very close to you. Or you could also be learning more at home as well, learning, reading, writing, researching, communicating, listening, teaching, etc. All of that kind of busy mental energy is affecting your home life and your family at the beginning part of the month here. Also, for the first few days of December, Venus will still be transiting your sign, which is pretty powerful. So you're still enjoying extra Venusian energy. You're coming across extra charismatic right now. Others are enjoying your company. And it's kind of easier to get what you want as well with Venus in your own sign, too. So that's kind of generally the focus here as we start out the month. But I wanted to go through and talk about some key dates for you of some major changes that will be affecting you, and I'll talk about exactly how what that means for you basically. So the first change we've actually already talked about briefly, so that is Friday, December 1st. This is where Mercury leaves Sagittarius and enters Capricorn. So again, that means increased busyness and increased learning or maybe teaching as well in your home situation, right? Talking more, chatting more with home in the home, or with family members as well. That's basically what that signifies for you. For Monday, December 4th, Venus will leave your sign, unfortunately. However, Venus is entering Scorpio now, which is not a bad place to have it for you either. Venus is basically in the second sign from you, which means that you may be making more money going forward, but you may also be spending more money as well. That's what typically happens with Venus in our second house. You're basically just more focused on supporting yourself, maybe finding new avenues, new revenues, new income. But also, maybe you may be more focused on investing in products or experiences that make your life more enjoyable, basically. And that's really going to be the focus for most of the month, as Venus will spend most of December in Scorpio. For Wednesday, December 6th, Neptune turns direct in Pisces. For you, this is your sixth house. And so with Neptune turning direct here, it means increased Neptunian energy, so more fantasy, more delusion. And it's affecting your area that has to do with your health and your well-being. It's kind of the maintenance of life. So just pay attention for physical or mental health issues kind of popping up. Much of this could be in your mind. So part of your mentality, your beliefs, your emotions may be affecting your health at this time. This could also be a time where you are kind of imagining different illnesses or ailments, or maybe kind of blowing things out of proportion. That could be very easy at this time. So I would say just use discernment. Make sure that you're, using common sense, especially with your health, your well-being, your lifestyle choices, etc. Just use that common sense and make sure you're using discernment in those areas going forward, because Neptune will make things confusing for you there. That's definitely one potential. For December 12th, now we have a new moon happening at 20 degrees Sagittarius. Again, this is the third sign from you. So this indicates, for one, there's a huge focus on those casual friendships, the neighborly connections, coworkers, whoever you kind of see on a daily basis, acquaintances, etc. You may be very focused on that part of your life right now. But also a new moon, just like it sounds like, it's an opportunity for a new beginning. So I really encourage you to check in with your intentions. What are your intentions with these kind of casual friendships and relationships? Do you want to spend more time in these areas? Would you like to kind of pull away and maybe focus on yourself more? This could be a time for changing that whole dynamic. You may also be maybe meeting new people, focusing more on certain friendships and acquaintances, siblings, whatever the dynamics are. Certain people you may be kind of maybe engaging more with going forward, or kind of pulling away from. So again, it's just showing general change in that area for you. Okay, jumping ahead to December 13th, Mercury turns retrograde in Capricorn. So there's something kind of going on in your home situation. So what's going on there? There may be something that's been happening that you haven't fully paid attention to, or maybe you've been busy elsewhere. You haven't been able to fully appreciate certain parts of your home life or your family or whoever you live with. So now as Mercury turns retrograde, it's slowing down. And in the process, it's basically slowing you down and kind of forcing you to look at this part of your life. There could also be certain things coming up from the past. So different things having to do with past home situations, or maybe family as well, different issues from the past kind of popping up. This can be uncomfortable, it can be unsettling, but it's basically just a process that's done in order to give you, kind of a more thorough understanding and appreciation for your home life, your family, etc. What else? You may also just be slowing down and kind of re-examining this whole part of your life. Again, kind of home life, kind of domestic issues, I guess you could say. For December 22nd, this is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. It's the summer solstice in the southern. And it's also the day where Sun leaves Sagittarius and enters Capricorn. I know I said December 21st for some of my other horoscopes, but it really just depends on your time zone. I'm going to use December 22nd since that's the day where Sun moves into Capricorn for the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So basically what this means is the focus is shifting more toward your home environment. Basically, with Sun entering Capricorn, it means that you're focusing more on your home life. You may just have more energy at home, or you may be spending more time at home going forward. You may also be spending a lot more time with whatever is familiar to you, so familiar pastimes, whatever those comfort pleasures are for you. That's kind of your go-to for the next month or so. And lastly, you're also potentially spending more time with family, more time at home, or more time with whoever you live with as well. Okay, and then for December 23rd, now Mercury does pretty much the opposite of what the Sun just did. Mercury is leaving Sagittarius, it's leaving Capricorn and retrograding back into Sagittarius. So basically, there's some kind of unfinished business with, again, it's having to do with those coworkers, acquaintances, friendships. There's something going on in these social kind of parts of your life that, again, maybe you haven't been fully appreciating or fully aware of, some kind of unfinished business from the past, and that's all being brought up now for you to kind of have a more thorough appreciation of, basically. All right, Mercury retrograde is gonna kind of steer your attention to these types of things. For December 26th, there's a full moon happening at 4 degrees Cancer. And like I always say, full moons are not just about the moon. It's an opposition between the moon and the sun. So moon at 4 degrees Cancer is opposing the Sun at 4 degrees Capricorn. Pay special attention, especially if you have any placements around 4 degrees Libra, because if you do, this full moon is going to form a T-square with those placements that you have there. Even if you have placements later on in Libra, this is kind of T-square energy. So basically, I'll say it like it is. This full moon could be especially it could be especially stressful for you, or it may make you a bit anxious. It doesn't have to be necessarily, but this is definitely pointing to a time of change for you. Specifically, it's highlighting the 4th 10th house axis. So this is very powerful. It's not all bad. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just highlighting the whole dynamic between your work-life balance, basically. So what's going on between your career and your home life? You may feel kind of pulled in either direction at this time. You may kind of have to make a choice. There could be sort of a fork in the road, so to speak, where you may have to choose, which matters more, your home life or your public life, your work life, etc. And, ideally for most of us, it's really about a balance, right? We all need a work-life balance in order to be happy. And, also to have a functional home life, we need to have a functional, career or work life, and vice versa. So that's really what this is about. This could also just bring about kind of culminations or a certain amount of chaos with your work life or your home life, or both. Okay, so again, it may be stressful, it may be a bit chaotic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. This is a great time for making changes with your relationship to both of these parts of your life. So would you like to spend more time at home? Would you like to spend more time at work, etc.? This is a great time for kind of implementing those intentions and those desires that you have going forward. All right. Okay, for Friday, December 29th, Venus finally leaves Scorpio and enters Sagittarius. So now Venus is entering this part of your chart, which shows that your desires are kind of opening up. You're desiring to branch out and maybe explore your neighborhood more. You could be traveling more, especially with short distance travel. So travel in your neighborhood, you're part of the city or town or whatever. Maybe traveling to nearby areas for whatever reason. You could also be a lot more, desiring and having pleasure in those casual relationships, casual conversations. This is, the chit chat, talking with neighbors, friends, coworkers, siblings, etc. Venus in this area just shows that you're kind of valuing those relationships more and finding pleasure in those as well. One last thing about that too, Venus goes both ways. So you may be especially pleasurable, others are enjoying your company going forward as well in that area. For Saturday, December 30th, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about in this horoscope. And this is the day where Jupiter turns direct at 5 degrees Taurus. And this is your 8th house. So this could actually be really good. It's basically showing that there's increased, expansion and optimism with your financial situation. So especially things having to do with shared resources. So I'm talking bank accounts, credit cards, any of your investments. You may be kind of opening up. Again, there's kind of this newfound optimism there. This could be a great time for making new investments and kind of expanding in that area. Maybe you're just deciding to save more or save in a new way, etc. Definitely use discernment. Jupiter can bring too much optimism, too much of a good thing. So the only potential downside of this I could see would be, maybe being too optimistic in those investments and kind of having risky investments that could come out of this. So just use discernment though, and generally this is a positive transit, I would say. Jupiter is bringing this expansion and abundance to those financial situations. So as always, use your own discernment, but this does look like a pretty positive transit going forward, and this will last several months, so you have lots of time to kind of enjoy the ramifications of that. So that's pretty much what I have for you. It looks like a multifaceted month. I think you're kind of pulling in this month and focusing on kind of the basics. What are the basics of your life? And this is a really great month for you as well to kind of restructure these most basic parts of your life as well. Okay, but that's pretty much what I have for you. So I wish you good luck. Enjoy this month, and thank you for watching.